Married Adventure, starring Mrs. Martin Johnson. Trapped by the king of beasts in the Valley of the Lions, 100 fear-crazed elephants madly stampede. On the trail of gorillas bigger than Gargantua the Great. Adventure with man-eating savages and hunters. These are just a few of the highlights in the career of a woman whose life has been packed with thrills in every corner of the globe. A woman who has many times looked full in the face of danger and has never asked for quarter.
Please, Mr. Riggs, you make me sound like a 6-foot Amazon.
Oh, but you didn't let me finish. Anyone who's ever seen your picture, well, they'd never think of you as an Amazon, even if they didn't know that the photographers of America have named you one of our country's most photogenic women.
Really, I'd much rather be called just plain Osa Johnson from Chanute, Kansas.
Very well, Osa. But you see, along with 250,000 other people, I happen to have read your new book, I'm Married Adventure. Yes, and I saw your picture by that name, too, and seeing is believing, you know. And frankly, I wouldn't care to find myself in the middle of some of the adventures you've been through.
Yes, I can remember 1 or 2 experiences that I wouldn't care to go through with again.
Why, Osa? You don't mean to say that you've ever been afraid?
Just scared stiff a few times, that's all.
But somehow you always manage to come through. Osa, I happen to know that you have recorded authentic sound effects in all your travels. Sounds of natives and wild animals. So perhaps you'll reenact one of your amazing adventures, just as it actually happened. For instance, how about that spine-chilling brush with old Chief Nagapat?
Oh, you mean the headhunters of the New Hebrides?
Yes.
Well, that was a very close escape.
And one we'd like to hear about right now.
Well, it happened on our first expedition to the South Sea Islands of the New Hebrides. We had an old rickety movie camera, just a few thousand feet of film, and a lot less money than we had film. We had wasted many months for the right pictures, and as we sailed along in a rusty steamer, we were both a little discouraged.
This tropic heat, Osa, it's almost unbearable. I've been through it before, but it's new to you. I don't see how you stand it.
When we left San Francisco, Martin, I said I'd go wherever you went, without complaining.
Bless you, you haven't. Never a word. But I know it's hard on you.
On both of us, Martin. Perhaps it's even harder because...
Because we haven't found the pictures we came for. But we will, Osa. When I sailed through these waters with Jack London on the Snark, we heard of an island somewhere in this area of the Pacific.
The Cannibal Island?
That's right. We'll find that island, Osa. And we'll bring back the first film record ever made of those cannibals. Yes, that is, if our money holds out.
Martin, perhaps...
Yes, Osa?
Well, perhaps it would be better to do as Captain Olson suggested. We've touched at a lot of islands where the natives certainly look savage enough to be cannibals.
But they're not cannibals, Osa.
They were, once.
A few of them, yes. Their fathers were. But these islands have been patrolled by British and French gunboats for years.
I know, Martin.
Wait, here comes Captain Olson now.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Janssen.
How are you,
Hey,
Captain?
how are you, Captain?
I just come to tell you that tomorrow we turn back toward Australia. We make only 1 more stop at the island of Paloa.
And the natives there, are they like all the others we've seen?
Just about the same. Maybe once in a long while they go headhunting, but no white man can ever prove it on them.
Is that the island of Paloa, Captain Olson? That land just coming into sight on the port side?
Where, Osa? Oh, yes, now I see it. Well, looks like a very big island. That where we stopped, Captain?
No, Mr. Janssen. If we stopped on that island, we'd never see Australia again.
Why? What do you mean?
I mean, no white people have ever been on that island and come off again.
But why is that, Captain Olson?
Well, Mrs. Johnson, that island maybe is owned by France and maybe is owned by England. The 2 countries, they dispute about it for years. So there is no gunboat patrol by any country.
Oh, I see.
Great Scott. You don't see, Osa. Captain Olson, what's the name of that island?
It is known as Malakula.
Malakula? Osa, that's it. That's our island. Now I remember the name.
Oh, Martin, at last.
Captain Olson, we want to be landed at once. We want to be landed with our equipment on the island of Malakula.
Excuse me, Mr. Johnson. That is crazy talk.
Crazy talk? What do you mean?
I mean that captains are forbidden to land white people on that island. I can show it to you in the South Sea Island pilot book. Wait. I get a copy and show you.
But, Captain Olson, that's the island we're looking for. We've traveled thousands of miles to find it. We've invested every cent we own in the hope of finding that island. We've got to land on it.
I like you, Mr. Jansen, but that I couldn't do.
Now, look, Captain Olson. This means everything to us. After all, we believe we can take care of ourselves. Now, why should you worry?
I like you, Mr. Jansen. And I believe a man has a right to risk his life if he wants to. For you, I would break a rule.
Then head in toward that island and land us.
I said, for you, Mr. Jansen. I could not send a woman to her death.
Oh. Yes, I suppose I was so eager. Well, perhaps you're right, Captain.
Wait, Martin. Wait. Captain Olson.
Yes, Mrs. Jansen?
What is that little island there off to the right?
That is the island of Vow. Very small. Only a few hundred natives and a missionary.
Oh, a missionary. Then the natives are not cannibals.
Well, not openly. They're a weak tribe driven from Malakula.
Look, would you land us there?
Of course, if you wish. But why?
Then land us there, Captain, with all our equipment.
But, Oza, why should we land on that little island?
Shh! Don't you see, Martin? There's only a mile of water between Vow and the island of Malakula.
How long did you say you've been here at Vow, Father Prynne?
30 years, my son. The only white man among my 400 natives.
Oh, you must have been terribly lonely.
No, oh no. My work has kept me busy, and it has been work. You see, in my 30 years here, I have been able to convert only 17 of my natives. I am not even too sure of the 17.
What a heartbreaking task.
Heartbreaking, yes, but worth it. Hear those tom-toms?
Yes?
Yes.
That sound comes from Malakula. If I were to go away, even my 17 converts would soon be cannibals again.
But tell us more about Malakula, Father Prynne. How many savages are there on the island?
Malakula is quite large, my son. It's been estimated that there are 40,000 of the tribesmen.
40,000? And are they really cannibals?
Alas, I'm afraid so. They all wear necklaces of human bones. No white men ever come back from Malakula. Nagapat's rings testify to that.
But who is this,
Nagapat? He is the chief of the tribe. Boatmen who have seen him on the shore say he wears several gold rings that once belonged to Long Pig.
Long Pig? What's that?
Oh, forgive me, my dear. I'm afraid I unconsciously use native expressions. It's been so long since I've talked to white people.
Oza, the cannibals... Well, Long Pig is a roasted human.
Oh.
And so you see, my dear, during the week you have been here, why I have tried to persuade you not to attempt what you planned.
I agree with you, Father Prynne.
Martin, you don't know what you're saying. You mean we're not going?
I mean that I'm going, Oza. Tomorrow morning.
Your husband is quite right, my child. I would stop even him if it were within my power. So would the British authorities. The island of Malakula is no place for a woman.
Oh, Father Prynne, that's all I've heard ever since we began this trip. But please listen to my side. When I married Martin, I knew he had an adventurous spirit. That's one reason I married him.
I know, Oza, but I can't...
When I married you, Martin, I promised to go where you went, to share your dangers as they came. You're going to Malakula tomorrow. The place of a wife is by her husband's side.
Don't go so fast, Oza. This camera's heavy, and we're going straight up the mountain. We must have climbed 1,000 feet already.
I know, Martin, but I have to follow the native who's leading us.
Well, I hope he's as friendly as he acted. He certainly doesn't look it. That bone through his nose and that necklace look like...
Maybe the savages are not as savage as they're painted, Martin. This one's been friendly enough. Well, look, Martin, we're coming to a plateau, a cleared place.
Yes. Well, looks like a camping place or a meeting ground.
And look at those funny black balls hanging on that vine. They look like jack-o'-lanterns.
Well, they're nothing, Oza.
Martin, they're dried human heads.
Now, easy, Oza. I'll get this camera up and get started.
Martin, it's a trap. We're surrounded. Hundreds of natives.
Easy, Oza. Try to act natural and unafraid. I've got the camera going.
Martin, look at this huge fellow coming. That must be Nagapat.
Don't mention his name aloud, Oza. The natives resent that from a stranger.
Oh. How do you do, Mr. Chief? Shake hands. He's never shaken hands with anybody. Martin, they won't let go of my hand.
Offer him some of the trade stuff. Try that piece of red calico.
He won't take it. Look, he's trying to rub the white off my skin.
Easy, Oza. He's never seen a white woman before.
But he's rubbing my arm with a reed. He scratched the skin off. Oh, stop! Stop!
Nice white. Nice long pig.
Marty, they're dragging me away. Martin, help!
I can't. They've got me too.
Stop it! Help! Help!
Oza! In the harbor! Look, a gunboat! Tell them...
Man of war! Look, gunboat, big guns, man of war, man of war!
Big gun. Big gun.
Oza! I'm free!
Oh, they're surprised, Martin. They've let me go. Oh, but Martin, look, the gunboat. It's going away.
Quick, Oza. I've got the camera. Now let's run for our lives. Come on.
Careful, Martin. It's steep here.
Well, we've got to take chances. They're after us.
Come on, we'll make it. Oh, we've got to drop the camera, Martin.
You go on. I'll try to keep up.
Here's the beach. Run, Martin, run! Hurry, Martin. Hurry. Jump in the boat.
Up front, Oza. I'll push off. Here we go. Now here. Give me those oars. Hurry.
Look out, Martin. They're shooting arrows.
Duck, Oza. They're deadly poison. There. Well, we're out of range now. Thank heavens for that.
Oh, Martin, I was so afraid. I'm terribly sorry we had to leave the camera. I know how much it meant.
Leave it? What do you think that is in the bottom of the boat?
Martin!
Not only that, Oza. We're going back to America with the only pictures ever taken of the headhunting cannibals of the Hebrides.
And that, Oza, that was the first of your many narrow escapes on the trail of adventure all around the globe. But you know, there's one thing I didn't understand.
Yes, Mr. Riggs, what was that?
Well, after the gunboat came to save you, why did it immediately sail away?
It hadn't come to save us. You see, Captain Olson had told the authorities of our plans to visit the cannibals. The gunboat had simply stopped at Vow to deliver a letter to Martin. Father Pren was away at the time, so the boat captain didn't even know where we were.
Well, what could have been in a letter so important it was delivered by gunboat?
Well, the British commissioner of the island district strongly advised Martin not to visit the islands of Malakula. He gave many reasons why. But I'll never forget the P.S. to that letter. It said, "In any case, I trust you will not take your wife into the danger zone with you."
Thank you, Oza Johnson. I'm sure your many, many friends look forward to your next visit on Wednesday of this week, when we are to hear about the episode of The Royal Guests, a tale of lions and natives in darkest Africa. And on behalf of Oza Johnson, I'd like to invite you all to tune in for another exciting chapter from My Married Adventure. This is the National Broadcasting Company, RCA Building, Radio City, New York.